right, well, welcome back to another episode of the Friendly Fades. Today we're going to talk about top 10 receivers in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Shay, I'm Greg. Let's get into it. All right, so first off, I'm going to walk you through who I think the top 10 Dynasty receivers are currently. So, S tier, I got four players that I think are in the S tier. Number one, Jamar Chase. I think it's pretty straightforward with Jamar. He has arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and then arguably the best throwing quarterback in the league. He's going to get the touches, and he's an elite talent. Has that big catch after catch big play ability. So I think he's like in the best system to have another productive year. I feel like, in my opinion, I think he's the best receiver in football. I got Jay Jettas up here as well. Simply put, I know Jay Jettas has the talent. He's lacked a quarterback. I think Kyler Murray is going to be good enough to get it done. And I just think that with the addition of Kyler Murray, plus the talent that Jay Jettas is, I think he's probably the second best receiver in the league. I know last year was a really down year, but I just believe in Jay Jettas. So I still got him up there in my S tier. I know a lot of people don't. But it's just hard for me to believe that he's just not elite and that he's not going to ball this year. Puka, I mean, the dude's just a monster, man. Physical, super quarterback friendly, very reliable. Matt Stafford likes to throw the ball a lot. I just think that he's going to continue to do well. He might even do better this year. He might just be mad and go off even more. So I could totally see that. Kind of like when Luka was just going off with all the turbulence with the family. Puka might just go on demon mode for real. So I got JSN. Again, he's just that type of receiver right now. They're hot, that style of receiver. The height. He can just get in and out of his breaks. I think he's just super good. And obviously the reigning Super Bowl champs. He's clearly the number one. So I got him up there as well. A-tier players, I got three players in there. I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mr. Consistency. Not much you got to talk about there. George Pickens, I think George Pickens is due for a big year. Man, it was just crazy to watch him go bananas last year alongside CeeDee Lamb. Even with CD, he did his thing, and then Dak, I got a lot of faith in Dak, his ability to throw the ball. So I think George Pickens is going to have a really good year this year. He's really turning that corner in the prime of his career. So I just think that this year is kind of undeniable for him. Drake London, I kind of look at him the same way. I think last year he did really good. I just think Drake London is just really good. The only thing that I question is the quarterback situation. So I can actually see maybe him dropping potentially just because of the question mark around what's going on with the quarterback situation. But as far as the receiving talent, I think he's going to get the targets and he can ultimately have a productive year of a wide receiver one in Dynasty. Nico Collins, he's my B tier. If he could just stay healthy, he's an elite talent, clearly the number one. And I think CJ can have a bounce back year as well. CeeDee Lamb, pretty self-explanatory. I think CD's elite as well. And what's cool about Dallas is I do believe they can support two, wide receiver ones. Again, like I said, I believe in Dak, his ability to throw. So last player, Mr. A.J. Brown. I think linking up with Drake May is going to be, he seems to just be a lot happier. I think him being in a better mood, he might just do better because of that alone. But then you couple in Drake May and what they're able to do over in New England, they're a competitive team. I think that he's going to be undeniably a wide receiver one this year as well. Maybe more of a lower end wide receiver one, but still, I think he has that wide receiver one potential. So that's what I got. This is kind of my tier in summary. So Shay, you got me at a B. Talk to me. Why at a B here with the grade?
I think AJ and Nico don't really have too much business being top 10 receivers anymore. There's a couple of things outside of their age, but they also have injury history. So AJ's coming off a season where he's been injured. Nico has that hamstring thing where I can't remember the last time he had like a full like healthy season. Because I know he missed like 2 games last year, and then he missed like 5 games the year before that. And then the year before that he missed 2 games. So yeah, I think for the most part our list is similar. It's just I don't have Nico and AJ in it. I think there's a couple guys when you think of like Dynasty, right? There's a little couple more variables that you think of when it comes to like Dynasty. And I just feel like if this was like a redraft one, like I have no problem with that list. But if we're talking about Dynasty, we're not just talking about like going into next season. I think like you look into perpetuity or however, like you have to take that into account. And I think that's what like your list is lacking a little bit.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I think that's where the difference is. Like, I think that the dynasty part, so that makes a lot more sense. Like, it's so funny. The way I've been thinking about building my team has actually less been focused on the future
Yeah.
and kind of just being more like not even believing. And it's weird because I do believe it, but then at the same time, like, my list doesn't really reflect my belief that players are going to be good long term. So, what I mean by that is like, I would still prefer, and we'll go through your list, but I would still prefer Nico. You said AJ, right? Those are the ones that were kind of like you're not really feeling.
Yeah.
I would still prefer them on my team over a couple of players you got on your list, even in a dynasty format. And I understand that these guys are older, maybe not don't have maybe as much upside, but I just still think they have a handful of good years, and I just feel like it's tough to bank on maybe some of the players that you got to hit the ceilings that these guys are capable of hitting. Obviously, when healthy. I mean, AJ's usually good. Nico's been the one that's been struggling with his health, but yeah, I think that's the difference.
Yeah. I mean, you look at, I mean, it really depends on like what the conversation is. Like, are we talking like it's weird because Dynasty has so many different avenues that you or different lenses that you can look at.
Yeah, yeah,
You can look at it through a competing lens. You can look at it through a rebuilding lens, a retooling lens. And so everybody's tiers, depending on whatever lens they're looking through, is going to be different. But I think just for the sake of just like the foundation of what Dynasty is and kind of like the like the main principles behind it, because I think all of us can agree we can't just have like a team full of like old heads. Like the foundation of Dynasty is, yeah, you want to make sure you include like guys who do have high upside. Because at one point, like all these guys were rookies who had upside. Like at some point in their careers, like at some point somebody was having the conversation, well, yeah, you know, AJ Brown, good wide receivers, got a lot of upside. So I think when we like a lot of times when I talk to people like and that's like kind of the debate that we have. It's like, yeah, well, you can't bank on upside and da 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 da. It's like, well, at some
yeah.
point,
That's
like
exactly the where it's like,
at some point,
yeah,
like
yeah.
at like they all like Jamar Chase when he came into the league, they didn't think he would be good because he kept dropping passes in OTAs and people were saying he didn't have hands. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like they were worried he wasn't going to be good. Justin Jefferson wasn't even the first wide receiver taken off the board.
Well, even look at JSN last year before this year.
Even JSN, right? Like
Yeah.
so. I agree. I think there needs to be a good balance. You can't be all upside, all young guys, but in the same breath, you can't just like ignore upside and young guys. You have to just walk that medium, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think there's a different approach. Well, let's get into it. Let's go through your list on that note.
Yeah, I got Jamar Chase. I still think he's probably wide receiver one. I feel like he'll have a wide receiver one finish this year. He's got Joe Burrow. He's highly insulated. He's got the contract. He's in the right offense. He has that ability. I think out of those three, those big three, he's the one who has the ability to have those like 50-point games, 40-point games, because he's already proven it like year over year. Like I think when it comes to fantasy, everybody banks on that one Jamar Chase game because you know he's gonna drop like 50 or 40 piece. So I just think he does everything well. Attacks the ball, good route runner, top end speed, plays all over the field. You could put him in the slot, put him outside. You could do a lot of stuff with him. So I think he's like the wide receiver one for sure. And then my second one is Puka, just reliable possession receiver who can still get past the defense. Good route runner. He benefits a lot, I think, from the Rams system, the way they scheme him and motion him all over the place. Reliable hands, tough. Had a little bit of an injury thing that was going on last year, so I think it's something to keep an eye on with this guy because he is tough, but it could be tough to a fault. But you can't deny the production. I think he finished wide receiver one last year, so
Yeah, he
anybody who
was.
finished wide receiver one, he's S tier. So
Yeah, I feel like it's funny because he did finish wide receiver one, even though he missed a game, and like sometimes I always default that JSN did, but like actually Puka did.
yeah. And then JSN, I think he's probably the when it comes to like young guys, and when you think of like dynasty wide receivers, like this is a guy you want to build a team around. I mean, he just went crazy. So I am curious though to see. I have him third just because Kubiak's gone. Offense is going to look a little different, and I think he produced at such a high clip. I'm curious to see if he can replicate that. I doubt he'll have a season like he did last year, but if he can even do something close to that or right below that, like he's there. But again, so he finished wide receiver two. He's all over the field. He's like you said, he's kind of like that model of a wide receiver that benefits a lot in fantasy, like a slot merchant, but then he plays outside, good route runner. Not the fastest guy, but he's really shifty. Finds the zones. High football IQ kind of wide receiver, so he's dope. I like him.
Yeah, yeah, he is dope.
And then my A tier, I think I was close to putting him in S tier because I think he's finished like I think every year he's like finished like the
Yeah,
last 3 years
history
he's
wise.
finished like within the top five. He's literally a finished like last year top three, top three, top three, and then top seven. So I was close to putting him in my S tier. Uh, Even with Ben Johnson being gone, he still finished like top three. So I might regret putting him in A tier. He might be a S tier, but similar to like Jason, just like a tough. He plays bigger than he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good possession receiver, low key sneaky fast. Yeah, he's consistent. I think that's a player like if he was available, like I would be trying to target him. Because you know what you're gonna get out of him. You just set him and forget it type of thing with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, Jay Jettas. I know you had him in S tier. I got him in A tier. I think even though like the quarterback situation was bad, I think elite receivers still kind of like find a way to make it work. Not saying that he's not elite, but like Jamar, you think about like Jamar Chase when Joe Burrow was out and he had Jake Browning throwing them the ball, he was still like getting points, right? I think when you talk about like rankings, like those are kind of the things you look at, and that's what
Yeah, but
separates Jamar
JJ
and
was
Jefferson.
bad, bro.
No, I'm not. I know, but I think that still comes into play to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the only reason why, like, I have one of the big reasons why I have him in that tier that I have him in is uh, just age. By the time the season starts, he'll be 27, which is crazy to think because I remember when he first came into the league. But he's like that prototypical outside X receiver, probably one of the best route runners in the league, reliable. But I think last year was, you just can't ignore that. And I thought there were times where he could produce, and there were times like last year where like Addison was going crazy, Naylor was going crazy, and then he just went on like on a stinker, bro. He was
Yeah, he
bad.
did, bro.
But nonetheless, I mean, he's elite still. Drake London, he's like another prototypical like X, big X, Z wide receiver, mismatch for any DB, high points to ball, deep threat. Um, my only question mark with him, kind of like what you said, was the quarterback situation. Apparently, Tua looks good in Atlanta. I don't know. That's what I've
That's
been
what I
seeing.
heard too. I actually heard
So
he's actually in the lead right now
yeah,
in
like
Florida.
I heard he looks good, but I mean Drake London, he played basketball at USC too, so like he knows how to use his big
He's a
body
hooper, bro.
frame,
Yeah, he's a hooper for sure.
so he can position himself well. And I think when the combination of the skill, because we already know he's elite, plus his age, I think he's only like 20, I think 24, and the fact that he just signed a fat contract, like another one of those guys I probably would flag plant and like build a team around him for sure. And then CD, got him in my B tier. I think I still think he's elite too, but I feel like I rely too much on that 2020. I think
That
it was the
three,
2023 season
yeah,
where he finished wide receiver one,
yeah, he went off that year.
and I think ultimately he's just kind of getting a little up there in age. He's 27. And so I think that's the main reason why I got him in the B tier. But he's another good route runner, slot receiver. Um, he actually reminds me a lot of Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson reminds me a lot of CeeDee Lamb as far as just like the style of play he is. Like he's like CeeDee Lamb's not the fastest dude, but he has a high football IQ, finds the zones, finds the soft spot in the zones, attacks linebackers, gets open, reliable hands. I think the biggest thing is just the age, and then you look at Pickens now in the mix. That's going to affect him for good or for worse. I mean, we'll
We
see.
saw it last year.
Yeah, so I got him in B tier still. George Pickens. This one I had trouble with because I've had conversations with you about George Pickens, and I think the skill set is there, but it's hard for me to put him anywhere above B tier just because the sample size as far as like his high end production is so small. Like he's only had really like one. This is the past year is the only year where he's had any sort of like high end fantasy football relevancy. Like he finished wide receiver 5 the year before that, wide receiver 42. I got the stats right here. The year before that, wide receiver 30, and then his rookie year, wide receiver 39. So I just think he doesn't have enough sample size. Not saying he's not elite. He obviously finishing wide receiver 5 was good enough to be in the top 10. Um, but I think if you rewind the clock and you make a top 10 dynasty wide receivers last year, George Pickens isn't even in this conversation before the season starts. So I don't want to be like a prisoner of the moment kind of thing. I think most of these guys, maybe outside of like Pickens and one of the other guys on my list, like everybody else for the most part would be in my top 10 last year. George wasn't even sniffing it last year.
You think JSN would have been in your top 10 last year too?
Oh, and Jason. I'm not gonna lie, and Jason. I forgot he was in there. Malik, he would be A tier if he just that knee for real. That knee's the
Oh
only
man,
thing.
yeah.
But like as far
I
as
can't wait till we do this side by side.
like young wide receivers, like this is the dude right here, bro. I think if he's healthy, I take him over like JSN. I take him over Drake. His rookie year was stupid, bro. He's, it's just the knee. That's the only thing. I really don't got much to say. You know what he does. Like
He is raw.
he's elite. It's just the injury. That's the only thing. And then C tier. This is probably like a high, maybe like a long shot, but I think Tet, rookie receiver, finishing with 1,000 yards in a new system. Bryce Young was in a new system because they got a whole new coaching staff and all that. And for him to like finish with over 1,000 yards, when you look at like the hit rate on like those kind of wide receivers, like as far as like Dynasty, like I have him in the top 10. I think the consensus around like Tet, he is, when you look at Dynasty rankings, people have him like wide receiver 9, right behind CeeDee Lamb, like right before like Carnell Tate and George Pickens. So I think him being at 10 is pretty fitting. Young, big, prototypical X wide receiver. I'm just curious to see if he takes a leap this year. Um, but he has a good foundation. 1,000 yards as a rookie, 7 touchdowns, I think. You can't ask for more.
All right, so this is the recap. You have Jamar Chase, Puka, JSN, S tier, A tier, Amon Ra, J Jettas, Drake, B tier, CD, Pickens, Neighbors, C tier, Mr. Ted McMillan.
Hey, Big, I like Neighbors.
Me too.
He might not be healthy, bro. Let me take that risk.
Let me take that risk. Oh, you can afford to take that risk, huh?
I can afford to take that risk.
So can I too. I can afford that too. I got all the
Bro,
time in
I
the
like
world.
Neighbors, bro. He's so cool, bro.
I got all the time in the world. Shout out AJ.
Yeah, bro, I gave you a B. I think the biggest thing is we debated on kind of the position, but on Jay Jettas and George Pickens, we kind of put them in different tiers, and then I obviously got I got AJ and Nico, and you don't. You got Malik and Tet. So I kind of take the opposite view on it. Like you kind of look at them as like, oh, they're older. I'm looking at the Neighbors and Tet like they're too young for me to like really have faith in. And then with Neighbors, just the injury thing too. It's just like, man.
Yeah. I think
So
even with the injury though,
that's where my thoughts are.
like it's hard to get, like you're gonna have to pay to get a Malik. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
to pay more to get a Malik Neighbors than an AJ Brown. I mean,
You think so?
I could ask Bake.
Bake got both of them. Who would you charge more for, AJ or Malik? For
Malik.
real.
No
You would
question.
have to pay to get a Malik Neighbors.
I mean, shit. Look what
I
I
don't
gave
think
up
you
for
have to
neighbors.
pay. Yeah, and you don't have to pay as much to get like a
See, I think
10.
that's stupid, bro. I think that's so stupid. But
Cause bro, you pay for, like, you have to, like, when you look at like the number side of it, like the percentages as far as like when a rookie wide receiver hits a certain yardage on the season and like hits production, the odds of them being elite are high. And so you're taking like,
well, we know he's elite.
oh, sorry, baby.
We know he's elite. I don't question that he's not elite. But I could see paying more for a Neighbor because that long term fantasy perspective when you factor that in. But let's say Malik is healthy next year and AJ Brown is healthy next year. I would have no problem putting my money on AJ Brown having a more productive year.
I mean, especially in that new system.
I would have no problem doing that.
Malik is in a, I don't know. Think about like think about like if Malik and AJ had the same knee problem right now today, who are you gonna take?
Oh yeah, for sure. Obviously, AJ. No, I'm joking, Malik. But yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. I
Malik's
think
odds of
AJ.
like healing from that knee injury too are super high too. So I'm not. The knee doesn't really concern me. It's scary because you worry that it's like a lingering thing, and he's probably not gonna. You're not gonna see like championship winning production today or this year, but I would say let him rest, get healthy.
Honestly, no rush. How old is he? 23.
Bro, he's a kid, bro.
Yeah, like maybe even
He's
22.
22. He's not even 23.
Yeah, so like I'm not tripping.
He's still growing his sales, bro. He'll be straight.
Boy, still hitting
He's still
puberty.
growing
Like
his
for real.
sales.
At the same time, I will take that risk. Yeah, I'm just not as high on AJ and Nico. I would probably name a couple dudes like ahead of like Nico. I would
Who
take
else would you
Igbuka
put again?
over Nico.
Who else?
I, w- I would take Igbuka over Nico. I would take Garrett Wilson over Nico. I would probably take Rashi Rice over Nico.
Damn, you talking foul now.
I look at the production when Rashi came back, bro. He was like wide receiver 5.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Rashid always in trouble though.
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
taking
but
a
I'm
healthy
not even
Nico.
talking about that. I'm not even talking about that's off field stuff. I'm talking about
I'm
production.
cool. I'm cool with Nico, bro. I think Nico's still freaking. I still think. I don't think he's even hit his upside yet. For real, bro. Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see any better. I don't think we're gonna see a better version of Nico Collins than we've already seen.
We might see close though. It might be close. So which
Man,
is
all
good
he
enough.
needs is a healthy season, bro. We saw and CJ do his thing, and
He ain't never had one.
I know, but like Malik ain't even got a healthy season, so we just talking. We still on the same thread. I think Nico
I
can get
mean,
him done,
last year
bro.
was his only unhealthy season.
As
When
is.
Malik was healthy, he
Well,
was
that
wide
year he
receiver
was going
6.
stupid. He got
This
hurt
is year
too.
3. This is year 3 for him.
Yeah, he'll be a year 3. Yeah, he missed like 2 games, Malik, and he still finished wide receiver 6.
Yes,
Difference in perspective. That's for sure.
for sure, sure.
Who's your? I'm curious, Bake. Who's your top 3
Top 2. Did you
wide
guys
Dang,
already
I
get the
ain't
receivers?
got
list
yours
or what?
pulled out. No, I didn't add you in because I didn't know if he was coming back, so I just pulled it.
Shit. My top 3, I had I had
Here, I could pull Bakes up right here.
S tier. I had Jamar Chase and I had Puka, and then my A tier.
This is Bakes right here.
See, I think the same.
Yeah,
This is
them
Bakes right
two
here.
for sure
Jason.
gonna be up there. Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Damn, you only got 2 people in the S tier. That's crazy.
Shit, not really. Like when I think of S tier, I'm thinking of like there's no other two receivers
Consistently.
consistently like these two at the top.
Yeah, and the jury's still out on Jason as far as like consistent.
I low key had him
Well,
in.
shoot, he finished top 10. Jason finished wide receiver 2, and the year before that, wide receiver 9.
Like I like JSN. I just felt like when it comes to comparing them to these two, I don't think he's there yet. So I put him at A tier. Almost damn near put Amon Raw in S tier, but I like him at A tier. I think he's gonna be productive like he always is. Another 1,000 yard season. CD, also another one. I actually think CD and George might have a better year this year. Get another year just to get comfortable with Dak. So I think both those two guys are gonna do numbers. Even though I got George B tier. I got Justin Jefferson in B tier. I'm really not sure what's going on in Minnesota. I like Justin Jefferson a lot. I think he's a great receiver. Um, and hopefully that Kyler Murray situation works out. If it does, he should be better than A tier. But just going on, just what we know now, I got him in that B tier. Nico Collins in that B tier, pretty much in the same boat. If he can stay healthy, I like what he could do. Got AJ. I actually had AJ at C tier. But after just doing like some thinking and stuff, I'm like, I think he's really gonna have a great season in New England. He's wide receiver 1. Who else really got to show the rock with as far as receiver out there? Romeo Dobbs and who else? Like, not many. So I
Booty.
think he's gonna. Shit, Booty's
Kayshawn.
looking for a trade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I hope
So
he
I mean,
do get
I
traded.
feel like AJ and Drake gonna really cook up some good stuff out there. So we'll see. And yeah, that C tier, man, I was interchanging that one a lot. Like I had Lad in there for a second. I had Drake in there. Who else was another one I had in there? I had Neighbors in there, but Neighbors, like I said, with the knee, I was like, I'm just not gonna put them in there.
Shay,
So
what you grade this?
it came down to Mbuka.
I'll probably say like a B minus. No Drake. You're not a big Drake guy.
Shit, I'm not a big. I mean, what have they done? Like, I mean, he puts up like good numbers, but I just don't. Falcons got to figure out that quarterback situation. I had me dying
Yeah,
talking about Tua, like Tua and Penix ain't it.
I know.
So I mean,
I
yeah,
know.
Drake's gonna put up numbers just because it's him out there. But
I
yeah,
think too.
like
Like I'm
I
even
like all
catching
my receivers.
myself.
I like all my receivers. I even like Lad better than Drake.
That's not out of pocket.
I
Bake, you
like
get a
Lad
C
better than
plus,
Drake.
bro.
I don't think that's out of pocket because the same like standard that I'm using for Pickens, like I think you could argue the same thing for Drake London because he's only finished in the top 10 once.
For Drake, and both
Yeah.
of you guys had Drake in there.
So I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm
I
cool
see
with
where
your
you're coming
players.
from.
I don't, I'm not, I don't think Ibuka should be around there, and I think London should be in here. And then I like
People will talk about
moving
like Igbuka
moving that
ending the
around.
season on a dud and try to hold that against him, but I think it's also important. Like Mike Evans is gone, bro. Like he should be the
I
wide
mean,
receiver one.
and we're going into like a new season. Like I mean, even though you got to take into consideration like last year. I mean, I feel like I got Mbuka kind of too low. I feel like Mbuka is gonna eat this year.
I would
Everything
take him
is a
over
lot.
Damn,
AJ
Ibuka too
for real.
low.
I would take Igbuka over AJ. That's
Shit,
just me
damn
though.
near. But I mean, I actually do like AJ a lot with the Patriots. I think they're gonna be some good things out there. You know, so we'll see. But yeah, I like my list. So but yeah, with those
Yeah,
just to see how different it looks at that bottom. But I'm pretty sure like our S and A tier is pretty much similar, like all across the board.
Yeah, I would say
yeah. A
so.
lot of the S and A is similar. Yeah,
GK, that shit a C plus. Yeah, your ass
I
don't need
just
to be
think
no greater.
that the some of the
He
B,
gave that a
yeah,
C
just like
plus.
I agree with a lot of players. I don't agree with your positioning, and I just don't think Ibuka should be up there at all. But that's just me.
I can't. Well, we got to revisit this after the season.
I would keep it if I was to drop anybody. I would keep Igbuka, drop AJ.
See,
That's
that's what
just
I'm
me
like.
though.
I feel like AJ's gonna snap this season. He's gonna have a great season this year. I think.
Again, yeah, I
Like,
think he'll have a
where was
great season
AJ on
too.
your? Was AJ on yours, Greg?
Yeah, he was my C tier. Shay didn't even have him on his list.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, these lists are gonna look completely different, which is cool. But like I said, that SA tier is pretty much gonna look pretty much the same.
I think if we're talking like redraft, AJ's in there.
See, I'm not even looking at it from like dynasty redraft or keeper league. I'm just looking at it as like top receivers going in the year 2026. Like who are going to be some of the top receivers going into 2026? And with Mbuka being number one now, and
Yeah,
with
that's kind of
AJ
more how I
Brown
look at it too.
going to a new spot. Who else do we have in there? Even Justin
We should have just
Jefferson.
called it. Should have just called it a top 10 wide receivers going into 2026.
I mean, what was it called? It was just a tier. What was it? It was just the top 10 tier list.
Top 10 dynasty wide receivers.
Or was it Dynasty? Okay, I didn't
Yeah, I
read it
mean,
like
I
that.
look at it. See, that's where there's some. I think there's some semantics there. Yeah, I mean, I still think about it from a dynasty perspective like that, which
Mm,
is really
yeah.
interesting because we obviously play it. We obviously play it differently.
I mean, and like shit. What
If
you
you were
like?
starting a franchise right now, do you want Drake London or AJ Brown?
Drake
Drake
London.
London. I mean, he's younger.
Yeah,
Younger and can damn near do the same thing.
The Lamb or AJ Brown?
It's how old, like,
that's a close one for me. That's actually close. I could go either or.
and AJ's like 29, 28.
End of the season, yeah, he'll be going. By the start of yeah, by the end of the season, he'll be 29.
Yeah, that's closer than because I mean Drake is 25, so I mean yeah, I'm a if I'm building a team, I'm gonna take that youth like damn near all the time. Not all the time. It depends on the situation, but like a receiver like that where they're kind of comparable to both big ass receivers that could go up and get the rock, and it's like I'm gonna take the younger guy. Yeah, but that CD and you said CD and AJ, that's tough. I'll probably take CD though.
No, fellas. I got to shake, though. I got to get running.
Oh, meetings.
Nah, I got to get to dinner.
Soon close.
We'll get it out, bro. We'll get
Warm
this out.
transfer.
We'll run. We'll,
All right,
let me
then.
know what the next one you guys want to run.
We do
So
running
we should do
backs.
quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks. My expertise. I did play quarterback.
Yeah, let's do QBs. QBs, RBs, and tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Say less.
I like the rankings though. We gotta keep doing these.
Yeah, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah. Did you grade it before? Did you grade it before when you were in the lobby?
Yeah, we graded it before. It just took you a minute to pull up.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'll make sure to.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to use my phone next time when we start. All right then. What up, Junie?